Tom Hanks, the legend,
The legend.
who's been popping out movies for donkey's years.
How many decades do you reckon? Like, I think mine span like 30,
Yeah,
minimum 30.
yes, I'm thinking at least. I remember probably watching couple of his films when I was like maybe 6 or 7. So I'm guessing he's been putting them out since.
Probably even 40, 50 decades,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. So that's a big body of work, and he doesn't even look much different.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
And he's
he
so, considering how famous he is and how many movies he's done, he's, although he's rarely played a baddie, right?
yeah,
He's not particularly pigeonholed, I
no,
don't think.
he's again. I'll use that word that we used last week. Whimsical.
Yeah, so crazy. I think we should mention two that we've decided are up
Above
top.
reproach, above ranking. Definitely, Forrest Gump. That's probably
Yeah,
going to be in everyone's top list. When you give someone, let's say, pick their top 100, Forrest Gump will probably be in the top 25
yeah,
for
I
most
reckon.
people.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be taken out of the equation.
Yeah. And then,
And
of course, we said,
yeah, one of the most popular franchises of all time,
yeah,
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Definitely. I'd say 1 and 2 were fantastic. 3 was pretty good. And which one was the one where they brought in Ken? Is that number 4?
Yeah, because he's only very briefly, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah, yeah.
So I think Keanu Reeves is in it as well, as he plays like I can't remember what
Oh my God, the motorcycle
the
rider,
motorcycle like
Dan or something like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that one was
I did
funny
watch
as
that one
hell.
again recently, actually.
Yeah, especially Ken, especially when he's like in the scene where he's doing his fashion show.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, so yeah,
Again,
definitely
adults and children
Toy
alike.
Story definitely made a bunch of childhoods. I think I was
Hmm.
a little bit older, but I'd say maybe I was in my teens when the first one sort of came out anyway. So they were definitely a good watch.
Popular is it still with kids?
Yeah, and I
Even
think
kids
there's another one coming
today,
out soon.
Woody and Buzz, I see them around with, little costumes and
Yeah.
toys and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
every kid's got them. You go into like Tesco's or Asda and stuff where they have all the costume section. There's always a Toy Story version somewhere.
definitely.
And seeing as we live in a town where there's a lot of stag do's, I have seen a few times where people dressed as Buzz and Woody. Yeah, and not the adult type.
Oh, so yes, those two are on their own. I've then got my top three, and I'm
Yeah,
going to preface it with, and think you feel the same. Our
yeah,
top three might not be, the highest rated on IMDb. It might not be an incredible film that he has
yeah,
done, he has been in. I've done it purely on the basis of films that I've watched the most
yeah.
over and over again.
You know
Yeah.
that definitely makes sense because again, I'm looking at my list. A lot of people might say like, what might be screaming like, how is that not there? But for me, it is the one that I can watch the most. I can watch it the most often,
Yeah.
and I can think about the times where I was when I was watching them.
Hmm. Definitely. And then I've got 12 honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So,
All
I
right. So let's start with number 3. You can go first. What have you got?
okay. Oh, so my number three, one of my absolute faves,
Yeah.
is Apollo 13.
All right. Yeah, I did. That is a that is a classic. Like
I
that's
love it. Again,
yeah.
there's actually a bit of a theme to mine, which I
Okay.
just realized now.
Are they going to be
So
all in space? Are they?
no, but you will get the theme when I say the other two.
Yeah.
So I loved this. Brilliant cast, so many good actors in there. Um, Based on a true story.
Yeah.
You know me and I do like my true stories. And my favorite bit is when they got the diagnosis of one of the astronauts wrong, and they didn't let him go because they thought he was ill, but it was
Yeah,
actually the other one. However, it worked out so perfectly because, like, the cleverest one, I guess,
yeah,
left behind to help them knew exactly what was going to be in the spacecraft and what they could use and what they couldn't use in order to shut all the power down and conserve it enough so that they could do their.
yeah,
Oh, love
yeah.
it, mate. Love it.
That was a great film. I can't remember how many years that came. That was
That's
that's
definitely
probably I think I was really young when that came out. When I say really young,
90s.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
So my number three could potentially be a lot of people's number ones, and I don't know if it's going to be your number one, but The Green Mile.
Oh, okay, great. Because I had that in my honorable mentions, and I
Okay,
figured that if one of us didn't mention it, we would definitely get some.
yeah, because I think some people would actually put The Green Mile in a realm in the diamond category.
If you were going to say to me we could have had a third one, I would have definitely put that one in there.
Yeah,
But it's so sad that I just can't watch it again. I just
yeah.
can't.
It was set obviously early 90s, around like sort of the Great Depression time where things in America were still very strained between the races.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously at the time, obviously the actor who played him, Michael Clark Duncan, was an absolute beast of a man.
Yeah.
So him being like such a gentle giant, which I'm sure
Oh,
there was plenty of people just like him at that time, any accusation could have them like locked up for life or
yeah.
put to death.
Especially with how they found it, with how they
Yeah,
found him. It's like the worst possible wrong place, wrong time
yeah.
ever. Just
And he was
horrible. Oh,
and in it, he,
sad
as I
just
said,
thinking about it.
you know, he was a gentle giant. He was
And Tom
kind.
saw that. Tom genuinely, I honestly, genuinely think he believed him. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I think that's one of the films where he truly, I think they all excelled in their role.
Yeah. Because it
Even
was
like,
a really small area
yeah,
for the movie. And I know they did the flashbacks to what happened, but
yeah,
otherwise it was a very small, and sometimes I think that's not dangerous to do. Some brilliant films would be done like that, but
yeah,
to be so impactful and then not to be like special effects and rolling countrysides and things like
yeah.
that.
And even like
Just
the most despicable characters in it really brought
oh
a love that you had to the character played by Tom Hanks.
yeah,
It showed that there were people at the time as well who had good hearts and were good people
yeah,
and were just pressured by what was happening around them.
yes,
So
almost
definitely,
scared to think differently.
yeah, so definitely that film could have placed a lot higher in my list, but in regards to how much I can watch it and not
That's the only reason it wasn't in mine, is because I just I don't want that sadness in my life.
yeah, so in regards
That
to
is
how much I
done.
can watch it, yeah, that will go in as my number three.
Nice. I'm pleased it's in there.
Yeah.
So my number two. Now you might not have thought to watch. I picked Catch Me If You Can. I didn't want to give it away when we were talking earlier.
That is in my honorable mentions. It just looking at his body of work, that one just wouldn't. It just didn't fit in my top three.
True story, though.
True Story,
Story.
him and DiCaprio, like
Oh,
what heavy hitters.
what an incredible! And I appreciate it. Is he's like the DiCaprio is the main guy, right?
Yeah,
But Hanks has still got such a pivotal role in it.
yeah,
And oh God, I just love it. I love how he stuck by what he believed.
yeah,
Catch him eventually,
yeah.
just put enough of himself in there. But also how incredible, certainly for the times,
Mhm.
was it Frank, the name of DiCaprio's character?
I can't remember.
Anyway, his character just brazen and blatant and but incredible with how he did it. Just the balls on the guy. And
it
then
makes
for
you
him to end up, you know,
it makes
helping sorry.
you wish you could do it.
Yeah, helping the people
Yeah.
that captured him.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, I just think like some actors, when they play like super clever roles, it's almost like, is this person as brilliant as a person as well? Because to be able to embody the smarts and the way, like even when you play a detective and you play like, he's just like, you believe he could do that in real life.
Yeah. And again, he's played characters in different decades as
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
within the movie, as well as, and so I think to be able to portray how people were at different times is also quite a,
Yeah.
yeah, good skills.
All right. So my number two, like I said, people, I'm basing it on what I can watch potentially over and over again, and where and how this film made me feel at the time, and how bubbly it made me feel. All right. So I'm almost embarrassed to say it. My second film, top favorite film of Tom Hanks, is Splash.
Woo woo. Dude, come on. Daryl Hannah,
Daryl
like,
Hannah at the time, I think.
oh, did everybody want to be her? Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was tense. It was
huh?
tense, man.
Yeah, yeah. John Candy. You had Zach Levy. It was just
Yeah. Who was the baddie trying to get them? He was famous as
yeah,
well.
Zachary Levi. Levy.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So obviously now you see him from American Pie and all those different films. But back then, he was a funny actor,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
was it was just such a wholesome movie.
and
And
so
like,
different to anything that we'd had.
yeah. So
Well,
at
other
one
than
point,
just
one
changing.
point, Jaws made you want to stay away from the water, and then Splash made you want to go towards the water.
I definitely wanted to be a mermaid.
Yeah. And if you watch the film, like I watched it like a couple of weeks ago, a couple months ago, and it's just like, obviously as a kid, I just saw like the swimming around and all that sort of stuff. As I watched it a bit older, I was like, oh, that's why all the grown men like this film.
Hanging.
Yeah. And she didn't have a shell bikini like
Oh,
Ariel.
so lovely. And
Yeah.
her hair.
Yeah.
Anybody, that is literally, regardless of any magazines or books or anything, that is the hair you think of when you think of mermaid hair.
Yeah. And you think it's like, like is it early sort of rom-com at the time?
Yeah.
Just even though it seems like when she first comes to New York and then like everyone's just like, what? Who's this naked goddess?
Oh, she's so sweet and
Yeah.
naive as well, and just the awe in which that, she sees like the tellies and
Yeah.
stuff. Very sweet.
Yeah, so definitely, unfortunately, guys, yeah, for me, Splash is my number two.
It was in my honorable mention, so.
Okay, cool. All right.
Hey,
Number one.
fun. Following on from the theme
Yeah.
of real life, true life
Hmm.
stories,
Yeah.
give it away. I have chosen Captain Phillips.
That was my honorable mentions, obviously because I am the captain now.
Oh, it is, again, I think I never really thought about real life pirates.
Yeah.
You think pirates, you think, Long John Silver and
Yeah, and
stuff
Blackbeard
like,
and Jack Sparrow.
yeah, which is great and fine.
Yeah.
There absolutely are pirates
Yeah.
like
I would
this
sometimes watch the
out
YouTube videos and you just see them like the way they can scale a boat out in the
there. Yeah, in
open
like
sea.
less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was so dangerous and so scary, but he knew what he had to do. He stuck to his protocols. I love the fact that it's a true story and that he got out of there alive.
Yeah.
Just brilliant acting. Yeah.
It was a very intense movie. It was there's a lot of points where you didn't think that they were going to survive this.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you look at like the motivation for a lot of these pirates. It's just sometimes that's all they can do sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just it was I'm not going to sympathize with pirates, but it was just like the film was very, very intense in a lot of moments.
Yeah.
All right. So my number one it's kind of split into a few movies.
Okay.
Dr. Robert Langdon,
Oh.
obviously, Da Vinci Code,
Ah,
Angels and Demons, and
yeah.
Inferno.
Yeah. Got ya. Got ya.
I absolutely love these films because
I think I've only seen the first. I think I've only seen the Da Vinci Code.
because when you obviously I love to look into like history and all sorts of different things. And the fact that this one was like a lot of it, some of it was based around religion, the cradle of life,
Yeah.
just all these sort of secret orders
Because that's a
and
big
so
deal in some countries, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and so much like code breaking, and to me it was
That's
just
code break.
yeah, to me to be that clever and and obviously to be able to read through signs, look at art and see like the little clues that were left behind. Like to me, I absolutely love those films. I
Do
can
they
watch them.
follow on? Are they all linked to each other?
They're all sort of linked. So obviously he does flow in between the three.
Yeah.
But like the first one is more like the cradle of life. You've got like that crazy Silas guy who beats himself with that metal whip.
Oh,
I
weirdo.
think yeah, he's crazy. And obviously there's a second one we sort of go into the Vatican and they let him down into like the secret chambers. And it's just mental because I'd love to. Obviously, I don't know if I'd be allowed to, but it's something you'd want to the hidden secrets of Earth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to be able to like he's finding his way through them, and he can read the signs and like just know what's going on.
Yeah. It would be a cool to like skill knowledge to.
Yeah, and he goes to like Paris, he goes to all these places, and it's just like ancient history just opens up in front of his eyes, and he knows what he's seeing and what he's looking at. So yeah, for me, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, Inferno. I know they're three different films, but they all kind of link
I
in that Darren
definitely think
Brown
they were
sort.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're my number ones.
And we
So
had crossovers.
yeah, we are no customers. So honorable mentions.
Yes. I've got more than you.
You've got more than me, so I'll say what mine were.
Okay.
One of mine was Big. I
Yes. Same.
absolutely love Big.
Yeah. Had to be in there.
You know, Obviously they made other iterations like 13 going on 30, and they've got a few other ones, but yeah,
Yeah.
Big was like
Big's the one though, isn't it?
was the one. And then I had Castaway.
Also in mine. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
And I also had have you seen the new Elvis movie?
No.
So this is the one time he plays quite an antagonistic character.
Is he like
So
the agent?
he's like the agent, yeah, who really like sort of screws Elvis over a bit.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's very manipulative in regards to Elvis's family and things that Elvis wanted to do and how he wanted to be outside the box. Tom Hanks really embodied this character of like this kind of like despicable agent.
Oh.
And I think without that agent, I think Elvis is huge, but he could have without this agent could have potentially been even more massive than he
Oh
was.
gosh. Okay. I mean, he was pretty damn big.
Pretty damn big. So imagine like this guy who was holding him back and only letting him sort of perform in like North America and stuff like that. If Elvis was allowed to tour the world like he wanted to,
Mm,
or go to Europe and different places, it would
yeah.
have been insane.
Wowzers.
But then Elvis has a catalog of music that spans generations. There's I can't think of it apart from maybe now this current generation, there aren't many people who don't know an Elvis song
Yeah.
or have heard some iteration of his music.
Or still have such an impact if in terms of what do they call it when someone like mimics them?
Yeah. So like
You
his moves or his like
Yeah.
mannerisms. So what's some of your honorable mentions?
Oh, so Saving Private Ryan had to
Oh
be in.
yeah. Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Damon.
I can watch a good, war movie, but I don't tend to watch them again.
Yeah.
But very highly rated, so kind of had to be in there. Oh, another true story. Oh, Sully, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So again, true story of him landing the plane in the whatever the river was, massive river.
Mm.
Then the American board coming and saying, even though everybody survived, you shouldn't have done it. You could have turned around and not risked everybody. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
you have no idea. And I loved it so much because they were so against him. And then they did all these simulators to try and prove to everybody. And then he just says a couple of things and says, no, you've got to take into account thinking time. Not
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they know what's coming, but give them, I don't know, 13 seconds or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Process it. And then it all goes to shit and they never make it. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he's a hero.
Exactly.
Love it.
I'm not sure if I've seen this one. Is this the one where he plays the pilot who landed that plane in the Hudson River?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, so good. You
I know
should,
the true story, but I don't think I've seen the film.
really good, really good. Then I'm not going to go through any of the ones that you've done. A couple of old schoolies. Philadelphia, I
Oh
think.
yeah, yeah, with him and
Time.
obviously Denzel Washington's in it.
Exactly, yeah. And we didn't give it an honourable
No, he
mention
didn't. Yeah.
last time, so I think it had to be done this time. Brilliant movie. Turner and Hooch,
Yes, I had
my
that.
childhood,
I just didn't mention it. Yeah, Tony Hooch. That was that was well funny. That's the first time that you
right?
sort of saw like the buddy cop dog thing.
Yeah, yeah. And just super adorable, you
Yeah,
know. They were big, those. I mean, even now they're quite big for
yeah, yeah.
kids. Yeah, really
Yeah,
loved
Turner
that.
Hooch was funny back in the day.
And just three more. Sorry, the list was huge.
Yeah, go on.
Saving Mr. Banks, I really
Oh yeah,
like.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, and I get it's definitely not a film for everybody. It is a drama of, again, something that did actually happen, but it's a lovely story.
Yeah,
Um, with Emma Thompson. So yeah, if you get a chance, I don't know, Sunday afternoon or something,
yeah.
it's a lovely film, lovely
Okay,
film.
I'll check that out.
Bridge of Spies, again, I think
Spies, yeah, old
it's
school.
a
Yeah.
story. Maybe he likes it as much as me.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I think another true story, The Terminal.
Oh yes, The Terminal actually was
Was it a true story?
directed by one of my clients.
No way. The same one that we mentioned before.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No, no,
cool.
no, another one.
Oh,
Another one.
all right. Famous client base.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, he directed that, and it's funny in his office he's got like the huge like, sort of like cutout of that they got from the set sort of thing.
hmm
Yeah,
And I'm so sorry, my sister will kill me if I don't mention this just one more, and you might not have heard of it, but it has got Gina Davis in it. Another lady, I think her name's Lottie something. It was a baseball movie about women's baseball. So again, based on a true story, and
yeah,
he's one of the coaches, and it's called A League of Their Own. It's about
yeah,
baseball.
yeah. I haven't seen that. So
Yeah, where the women
another
compete
one where I'll have to
against
put down
the
on the list
men.
and might have to do like I might have to do like a Tom Hanks month.
Yeah, seriously. It's a great film. I really enjoy it. You know, I love a sports film,
Yeah,
you
you
know
do,
that.
you do. Yeah.
And this is obviously like a sports film, but also, you know, girl power as
Yeah.
well.
All right. Well, that's another one down. Another one bites the dust for top three, and obviously Tom Hanks, great body of work, has provided us years and years of entertainment. You've given me a few that I need to go back to the drawing board and watch.
Yeah.
But you know, I said I'm happy with my top three. Like I said, those ones are ones that just stick with me, however long going forward. Obviously, I had the Green Mile. You know, could be some people's favorite, could be like untouchable. But we did put, you know, two in there already. Splash, you know, embarrassing, but I don't care. That film for me is a staple for me.
Yeah.
And I could watch that. Like I said, I watched it a couple months, like a month ago. I could watch it whenever, you know, it's just it's like watching Friends.
It is a lovely film. And there's
Yeah.
so many ups and downs in it as well. Like it's horrible when she's in the tank.
Tank, yeah.
Oh, that's like an ET moment when she's in
Yeah.
the tank. You know.
You know, it's like, you know, come on, like Free Willy, you know, what in a different clip, but
Yeah.
obviously, but
Dying. Stop
yeah,
making her die.
yeah. And then obviously I had number one was the Da Vinci Code and that sort of trilogy, Angels and Demons and Inferno.
FYI, I love how varied your top three was. I mean, they're
Yeah.
very, very different films.
Well, like, it was like heartache, lovely, whimsical, and then
Uh,
like
Mine all based on true stories. Didn't even think about it at the time, but
Catch Me If You
Apollo
Can.
13,
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can, and Captain Phillips.
Yeah. Brilliant list you got there. So everyone, make sure you go to the comment section and let us know what your top 3 Tom Hanks movies are.